Hi, this is Tim at Volgistics with your tip of the week for February 27, 2023. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about email settings in Volgistics. So there is an easy change you can make in your account that will often dramatically improve email delivery for your volunteers. Because Volgistics sends messages to recipients on your behalf, sometimes these messages are viewed as suspect or possible spam by receiving email systems. This is especially true for CC'd email addresses, and from time to time it can abruptly become a major issue in response to internal changes made by certain email providers or even by your organization's own IT team. When this happens, emails sent from your account suddenly begin to get rejected, but there are measures you can take to help your messages get through more reliably, and this first option is found on the Messages Ground Rules page. To get there in Volgistics, we'll go into Setup, Expand Messages, and go into Ground Rules. So here under Email Authentication and under From Address, you'll see these recommended options. So you'll want to select both of those recommended settings, and that goes a long way to making sure your email gets through to the intended recipient. To show you kind of what it looks like when you've made these changes, I'm going to bring up Outlook. Actually my own Outlook here. And here I've sent myself two messages, one using my own settings and another using the recommended settings. And when I'm just looking at the inbox here, I can't see any difference between these two messages. Down below in the reading pane, I can see a little bit here. So the main thing that you'll see is when I use my own settings, I see my name and my email address here as the sender. When I'm using the recommended settings, I see volunteermail@volgistics.com as the sender. Most of the time, your volunteers really aren't going to notice that because it does still have my own name here in the From column in the list. In addition to that, even when we're using the recommended settings and it's being sent from volunteer mail, when I hit reply here, you'll see it goes to my email address. It does not go back to volunteer mail, so those replies still go straight to you. They don't come back into Volgistics. That said, if you have a really strong preference to handle your own sender ID or use your own From address, you can add Volgistics IP addresses to your organization's email service. This is done using what's called an SPF record, which I'm not really going to get into in this video, but one of the things that goes along with that and is often used nowadays is called DMARC. Now, Volgistics doesn't support DMARC, so if your organization's domain requires that for email authentication, then this isn't really going to be an option for you with Volgistics. You're going to need to use that volunteer mail as the sender. Something else that's always advisable is to encourage your volunteers to add Volgistics email addresses to their safe sender list. Specifically, we're looking at that volunteermail@volgistics.com. This instructs their email providers to trust messages that you send them through Volgistics. You can learn more about this in Help Topic 2046, which I'll link down here in the description. Keep in mind that even after following these steps, if you have any volunteers who have this red validity icon next to their email address, you're going to have to reset those manually. And it's really quick to do, but you do have to do that individually for each volunteer. That way the system will, again, try to start sending them email. If you have any questions about this or anything else in Volgistics, please reach out to the support team and we'll get back to you quickly. Thanks for watching and have a great week.